Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. I am a UX design student at CareerFoundry, and in today's video I will be talking about my experience with them after being enrolled for 2 months. I will also be answering some frequently asked questions that I've received. So if you are considering enrolling to CareerFoundry for the UX design program, I hope that you find this video beneficial and I hope that I am able to answer some of your questions. Also, I do have a video that I created after being with CareerFoundry for 1 week. And there I talk a little bit more about why I chose CareerFoundry versus other boot camps like General Assembly. So if you're interested in hearing me talk about that, I will have the link below. A few of the topics that I will be discussing today is scheduling my calls with my mentor, the responsiveness of my tutors, using Slack to communicate with other CareerFoundry students, and using tools like Figma to create my wireframes and prototypes. So in my earlier video, I mentioned that it was a little bit difficult to schedule calls with my mentor because she was outside of the US. So this is something that I assumed, but she actually lives in the East Coast, and it could be that the first week maybe they're just a lot busier than other weeks, but now that I've been with CareerFoundry for a little bit longer, I feel like it's been a lot easier to schedule calls with them, and they do recommend that you schedule at least 1 hour call every week if possible. So far I've scheduled her every other week because I feel like that works out with my schedule better. And a few of the topics that I talk with her about are her experiences as a UX designer, what her day-to-day looks like. And it's also really great to keep in contact with your mentor because in the end, they could possibly refer you to a company that you're interested in. Maybe they have a connection there and that could be helpful in the long term. It's very similar with the tutor. In the beginning, I remember that I had sent her a question through the Slack channel and it took a few days for her to respond. But now that I've been in the program for a little bit longer, I feel like she is very quick at responding, and typically my assignments are graded within, or not graded, but I get feedback on my assignment usually 1 day after submitting my assignment. And I personally like to wait for my assignment to be reviewed before I move on to the next one, but you do not have to wait to move forward to the next assignment. I just feel like since they provide feedback so quickly, I don't mind waiting around for that. So just so you guys know, the difference between your mentor and your tutor, your mentor, they usually provide an overall feedback to you after you've completed several assignments, and you talk to them more about whatever topics you need further explanation in. For example, we were reading about the Agile framework, and I had a little bit of difficult understanding that, so now I'm going to be scheduling a call with my mentor so she can explain it to me a little bit better and what her real life experiences have been. As for the tutor, they provide more day-to-day feedback. If you have any questions that you have on an assignment, or I guess I could ask my tutor about the Agile framework, but what they will mostly do is just provide you with links so you can do further readings, and the mentor, you actually get to jump on a phone call with them so they can talk you through the process. In my first video, I also talked about Slack, how I personally didn't find it very beneficial because I feel like there's too much noise in that messaging, or I'm not sure what to call it. But usually when I go onto Slack, there's just tons of messages, and I still don't really find the benefit in using Slack when it's not so organized. There's just really one, or there are multiple channels, but it just feels really overwhelming to me. And I feel like if I have any questions and I were to post them there, I'm just not getting a response back, or it takes a really long time. So I rather just connect with individuals on my WhatsApp group with the local UX designers that I've met. I did recently receive an email about CareerFoundry leading like a study buddy kind of thing. I didn't read it through the email, but I think that what they're trying to do is just get students to reach out to one another through the Slack channel and form study buddies or study buddy groups. And I did have a student reach out to me. I met her when I just got started in the program, and we've been talking more one-on-one, and just any questions that I have, I message her too. I feel like she's very helpful. So if you use Slack to meet people one-on-one and they respond to you, you guys connect, I think that that's the best route to take versus writing messages on the dashboard and waiting for just a random person to respond to you. The last thing is that in my first video, I mentioned that CareerFoundry doesn't train you to use any of the softwares like Figma or Sketch, and that is true. From my understanding, most boot camps and programs don't teach you how to use these tools. It's something that you have to learn on your own. But I did reach out to my mentor, and she said that she would be happy to walk me through any of the steps and show me the ways around Sketch. However, she doesn't know how to use Figma, and it's something that she's also learning, and that's the software that I'm using. Just so you guys know, Figma is a free software and you can start using it even if you're not enrolled in any type of boot camp. I would highly recommend that just so you can get a feel for what it's like. And from what I've heard, it's very similar to using tools like Sketch. So I think that if you just really learn how to use one, it'll be easy to transfer those skills onto any similar tools like that. Some of the more frequently asked questions that I get is, do the assignments have deadlines? How do I manage my time between being a full-time employee and being a student? And in addition to CareerFoundry, are there any other things that I'm doing to learn more about UX design? The assignments do not have deadlines, but my mentor encouraged me to try to submit at least 2 assignments per week to stay on track. I also thought it was really helpful that, this is a little bit off topic, but I thought it was helpful that my mentor helped me decide on how many tasks I should be submitting per week based on my goal. So my goal is to complete the program within 8 months, and she said if I can complete 2 tasks per week, then I should be on track. So if your goal is to complete the program a lot faster, then you can work with your mentor on putting together a schedule, and that way you can decide on how many tasks you should be submitting per week or how many hours you should be spending per week. The next question is, how do I manage my time between working full-time and being a UX design student? So my job is pretty flexible as long as I'm completing all my work and I'm working at least 8 hours or so, sometimes a little bit less. I can end my work for the day. And I feel like that's been very helpful because I typically work up to 4 p.m. and after that I take a little break and I start my CareerFoundry work at 5:30. From 5:30 to 9:30 Monday through Thursday. And on the weekends I try to catch up if I feel like I'm a little bit behind schedule. My mentor did encourage me to take breaks when necessary, so don't think that once you enroll to the boot camp, you're going to be working so hard that you can't take any break. I mean, this is really up to you, but if you need to take a break, that's absolutely okay. During the holidays, my mentor said that I was ahead of schedule, so if I wanted to take a break, that would be okay. And I actually ended up taking a full 1 week break, and I'm still on track. So if something comes up, or if you want to take a vacation, you'll be able to do that even while you're in the program. You're not going to be stuck and not have a life just because you are in this boot camp. In addition to CareerFoundry, are there any other things that I'm doing to learn UX design? And yes, I am. I usually watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'll add the link or the channel of one YouTuber specifically that I really like to watch. And I also read books. Currently, I'm reading Sprint. And I also connected with someone that is in the process of developing and designing their own app. So I've had the opportunity to join in on that, and currently we're more in the discovery phase, but I'll be involved through the design process. And actually, after being on a call with a UX design team, I was really excited and I felt really reassured that what I'm learning with CareerFoundry is going to help me in the real world, because everything that they talked about were items that I had learned through the program, and that just made me feel really good, like what I'm learning will be applied to a real job. So that is all I have for today's video. I hope that you guys find this video beneficial and that I was able to answer some questions that you might have. If you still feel like you want to learn a little bit more about CareerFoundry, please watch the first video that I created, and there I'll be able to provide more information about my experience with CareerFoundry. Lastly, I just want to add a quick little update on my journey with CareerFoundry. So I completed the UX intro. Now I am in the UX immersion. And the UX immersion, it's a lot more technical in the beginning. It's more learning in-depth concepts. But I'm very excited to get to the next achievement, and there I will be able to design an app. It will be a finance app, and I'm very excited about that because I'm going to make sure that I put in all I can to make sure that this app really represents what I'm capable of. And once that is completed, I will make sure to share that with you guys on YouTube. And again, thank you all so much for watching my videos. And I love connecting with those of you that do message me, and those that I've connected with outside of YouTube. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.